I'm up here in Kamloops and Logan Lake, ready to start my fall fishing. This week I'm going to be fishing with Randy Paskall, the designer of the Weight Watchers Scud, and hopefully we will get into some Scud action because that's my favorite thing to do in the fall is fish some lake, just ripping scuds. And there should be some dragonflies, boatmen, leeches. Probably have to use some blobs and boobies if there's some Daphne in the samples. Might even see some chironomids, who knows? Mayflies, you never know in the fall. You could get just a mixture of everything. My favorite time of year, definitely to fish in the lakes, and it's just like a big smorgasbord. Fish are getting hungry because it's getting cold out and they gotta get on the feed, right? So, and that's today as we take you sport fishing on the fly, any style.
Sport Fishing on the Fly is brought to you by Maui Jim Sunglasses, Humminbird Fish Finders, First Tellurium Corporation, and Hardy Rods and Reels.
He's got his first fish of the day on the tequila. Yeah, it's a nice heavy fish too. And you have a 6 weight. Better hold on to my rod in case it takes off. I'm dangling a chironomid on the other side of the boat. We're out in about 23 feet of water. 22, 23 feet.
Yeah, I threw out
nice
like
fish.
6 and counted it down to the bottom.
And what have you got? A
Tequila blob. I started counting it down, put it right on the bottom.
And that was the tequila blob. And how long did you count down? You put it right on the bottom?
Yeah, exactly. We're in 20 feet of water, so that's 40 feet to us. Or count of 40.
Count of 40.
Yeah.
Nice
Strong
fish, Randy. That's a beauty.
But yeah, and just chugging it too, with a long pause in between, just to chug and then pause. And he picked it up, and I didn't think I had him. I kept stripping. And then the rod went over. And he came right up to the surface too, eh?
Yeah.
He didn't like turn away and run right away. It's all been right here.
There's a bit of a bloom on the lake today. Got churned up or something, so it's not actually very clear today. On the lake. Oh, that's a beauty, Randy.
That's good.
Really nice fish. Wow. Let me know if you need me to net him.
You can if you want.
Sure, I can do that.
It's attached to that.
Oh, beautiful fish.
Oh, not yet.
It's not ready yet.
Oh, he's not there yet.
Oh, he's trying to find that anchor rope.
Still digging.
It's not tequila, that's a sunburst blob
That was the
that I tied. They are on Daphnia today. We've had some brown and mulzons fishing beside us, and he's had some Daphnia in the samples. Oh, careful.
Hold that up for you, and then we're gonna
Yeah.
get a throat sample.
Yes. Throat sample. Beautiful fish, Randy. Gorgeous. I just got my first scud, my first fish of the day on the Scud. It's about 11 in the morning. Just got out here. Oh, that's a nice fish too. Real nice fish. Same size boat fish. 3.5, 4 maybe. Nice. I think he's pretty much ready to come on. So when you're fishing scuds, you want your rod tip in the water, like right in the water, because you want that straight pull. And then real quick, fast. My scuds are unweighted. Our scuds are unweighted. So we can fish them in extremely shallow water. I'm using a type 1 to a hover line. And just quick strips, a few pauses. But you definitely want that rod tip in the water. And they take them, usually take them really pretty hard, hey Randy? Most of the time, I find. When they're on them, they really crush them sometimes. Yeah, not in my line. Yeah, it's true. You know, sometimes they want them right away and you got to get that type 3 line out. Other times, super, you know, they just want that more shallow, slower.
More erratic movement and not moving that far.
It's a short retrieve, right?
You don't want to move it as much as you can without moving it a great distance.
Get out of there. It's going over there again.
She likes it over there.
Yeah. Well, I want to land you on my side of the boat.
Here she comes. I'll get that nut for you. Right in the corner of the mouth.
We'll get a sample of this fish. Well, it's day 2 in Kamloops. Yesterday we had a little bit of a tough day on the lake we went to, so today we're out here at a different lake outside of Kamloops, hoping to get some scud action again. We got a little bit yesterday, but not too much. So I'm out here today again with Randy Paskall. Brandon Molozan might be joining us as well. And hopefully we'll have a good day here on the lake. I'm putting the maroon leech on.
It's better. It's a carry.
Maroon carry special.
Definitely a better one, I think.
Good job, Flynn. Nice fish. Oh, yeah. Oh. Wow. Nice fish.
I don't think he's ready yet.
No, definitely not.
It's a brookie.
Is it? Get out.
That's a big brookie.
Wow. Nice, Randy. They like red, I've heard. Do you want some help netting that? Here, let me get this out of your way. Okay, wow. Good job, Randy. Nice.
Nice big brookie.
Wow.
Maybe some of them fish we've been seeing moving brookies.
Yeah,
You want to see what he looks like?
yeah.
He's fat, eh?
Wow, nice.
Look at that tail.
That's a beauty.
It's funny, as soon as you got that fish, I had one too.
I know. Same with the other fish I just had. It's funny, eh?
See if I can see him. There he is.
There he is. Oh, that's a nice fish.
Whoa!
Mayflies in October. Always have your mayflies in the fall. You just never know.
There he is.
We were on scuds this morning, I think, for sure. Yeah, I've seen some mayflies. We've seen some spinners. I can open that.
No, good. Oh, I got you.
All right.
No, you're not giving up.
No, he's not.
Come on in here, and we're not going to hurt you. Ooh. Hear that? That's a nice fish.
Nice fish, yeah.
The pork on that. Look at the back on it.
Oh, it's a nice fish. Eh? What a beauty.
Yeah.
That's released though. He wanted to leave. Hey folks, welcome back to On the Bench. Today I'm going to tie you up the Fire Tail Blob. The Fire Tail Blob was the one Randy and I were using up in Logan Lake. We did really well with. I designed this fly about around 6 or 7 years ago, and it's just been an absolute smasher in the fall. I can't say enough about this fly. I always have it in my box, especially in the fall. I haven't seen it work any other times a year, but definitely in the fall, and this is the one that, like I said, we were doing really good with. So I've gone ahead and placed my hook in the vise. I'm just going to start my thread on the hook. I'm just using a bright, like a hot orange thread. I think it's 12-0. Just wind that to the back, to the point where the barb would be. Next, you can take your tailing material, which is hot orange marabou for the fire tail. I'm just going to peel a little chunk off the stem and then trim it up even. And I also like to come in and I like to pull the fluff out of the marabou, which gives you a cleaner tie-in point. I like to wet it just a little bit and then I retrim it just to make sure. And then you get a really nice clean tie-in without too much bulk. Next you come in and just, tail's about shank length. I'm just going to tear this marabou off. It's got a really long tail on it that wiggles in the water that the fish just can't seem to resist. It's like I was saying in the intro, this fly has been absolutely deadly in the fall. I designed it about 6-7 years ago for Randy Paskall to take up to Logan Lake area when he was going fishing, and he absolutely smashed him with this fly. And then after that, it's just been every single fall the same thing with this fly. I always have it in my arsenal. I haven't seen it work any other time of year, but for some reason they love it in the fall. And I think Dawn and Dale even took this one out last year to test for me and did really well with it. So I'm just wrapping up the hook. I've actually wet the material so that it makes it easier to handle. Something you should always do with your blob booby materials. Thank you to Phil Rowley for that little tip. It does make them easier to work with. And then just tie off, and I should say I haven't told you which yellow material I'm using. Just 1 second, I will show you. I'm just going to trim that off like so. Do I have the package here? I don't know if I have the package. Anyways, it's by F&F, and it's the atomic yellow. Oh yeah, here it is. F&F. And I think I might have got this in Kamloops, and it's the atomic yellow F&F jelly. I've tried other yellows. They don't work as good as this one. This one turns a kind of a green shade in the water, and it's just got that color that fish love. Anyways, and then you can whip finish. It's got that little orange head on it. I know Lindsay Simpson designed one very similar in the UK with a beaded head, so you could tie a bead on this if you want to hang it under an indicator. I'm going to try that this year. Trying to get that one piece caught. There we go. And good to get a piece caught. Nope. And that's it, the Fire Tail Blob. Make sure you give that one a go and have one in your arsenal. Well, Randy, let's do a successful trip to Kamloops.
Well,
Logan Lake.
successful, I don't know. I mean,
The first 2 days were tough, eh?
with all the weather and stuff that we had, it was really tough at the first part, especially at the first lake where we had all those rolling fronts.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we had a whole mess of different weather patterns all in one day.
Yeah, just a huge storm blew in. We couldn't even go fish right away. We had to sit in the truck. It was
Well, we
raining
made
so
it
hard.
up for a bit there, and then we had to come back in and hide out.
But we
and-
managed a few fish at that lake, and then the next day was a little tougher.
Yeah, well, we
But
thought
some
that
good quality fish.
we were on the rising barometer, and we
Yeah.
figured that we might have a chance. But I mean, there's always that transition zone, you know, where fish need to feel comfortable. It doesn't really matter what the weather is, as long as it's the same for 2 or 3 days in a row before you get there.
Right.
Yeah,
So then when we got up to Layton, we had a pretty good time up there. We caught fish on what? Like a whole smorgasbord of things.
Well, you know, it's
Scuds.
funny. We came out to do a Scud show, and the water temperature just wasn't conducive to that. I mean,
it's got to be, what do you say, 50 degrees?
Yeah, I've had the best
or
success when it gets to 50 degrees because the fish really feel like they have to get on the feed at that point.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then that's when they come out and really get on.
They get desperate.
Yeah, well, not really desperate, but they get on that calorie forage.
They got to get the calories in. Yeah. Same with the dragonflies. Today's, we had a great day on dragonflies, fished gomphus all day.
Yeah.
Hammered a few fish.
And,
what else did we catch fish on? Baby damsels?
Yeah, mayflies.
Boatman
the
pattern.
blob.
The blob.
The fire tail blob.
The fire tail blob.
Oh, man, that was on fire.
Randy must have caught about 25 fish or something in 3 hours.
Yeah, I had a really good time in the morning with Johnny. I finally put more fish in the boat than him. And anybody who knows Johnny, that if you can do that, you're having a heck of a day.
Yeah, if you can outfish John Wilkinson, you're having a good day.
Yeah, so I mean, overall, we stuck it out at each lake. We didn't get skunked. Came close a couple times.
Yeah.
For a while there, I wondered if I was ever going to catch a fish again.
Oh, right.
But I mean, especially when you were on. I mean, we were
I was
fishing
on
the same
fire
stuff
that morning.
it
just depends. Yeah.
So I mean, when we get right down to it, I mean, you may have a method in mind, and you know, there's things you want to do, but you got to keep the options open.
Oh, you got to be versatile. Yeah.
You got to use
Have
everything
all your
in the
arsenal
box.
in the fall.
Yeah, you bet. And you got to be prepared for everything. I mean, if somebody had said to me, "Oh, you better have a mayfly," I would have laughed. But like Johnny says,
oh, me too. I've fished mayflies in the fall the last couple of years and done really well with them.
and like Johnny says, if you see a mayfly, they like them. So get on it quick because it don't last very long.
Definitely. Well, thanks for coming out with me. Thanks for joining us on Sport Fishing on the Fly Mini. Take care. Tight lines.